Tomorrow for George Bush and the rest of the Republicans.
Last-minute work went on for both Republicans and Democrats. The Republicans continue to get out the vote effort with phone banks at Republican headquarters downtown. The GOP is confident that George Bush will capture Ohio and hopeful that Senate candidate George Voinovich can ride the coattails of Bush into the Senate. On this day before Election Day, Voinovich is ignoring polls that say he will lose his bid for the Senate.
The only polls that I care about are the POLES, the Polish people of Ohio.
The Democrats, through the 21st District Congressional Caucus, rallied the vote in different ways. They, too, want a big voter turnout.
Get out and vote! Why does anybody have to beg you to go out and vote?
John Coyne isn't conceding anything to the Republicans, but he is aware that Howard Metzenbaum has a big lead in the polls in Ohio, and he doesn't want any erosion in the event that George Bush wins big time in Ohio.
The whole nation will be watching us to see what we do tomorrow.
Some Dukakis supporters even decided to show their support in a rather unorthodox way, carrying campaign signs through rush hour traffic. The one thing both Republicans and Democrats agree on, the common thread among all those working on pre-election duties, is to make sure that predictions of the lowest voter turnout in 40 years don't come true. From the Board of Elections, Paul Orlowski, Channel 3 News.
Election Watch, the presidential candidates took to the airwaves in a last attempt to win you over.
Someday very soon, right here in America, a brighter future is what we're gonna see.
Each candidate bought half an hour of primetime television time to recap their message.
Mr. Bush
Michael Dukakis' pitch aired first, with the candidate dressed casually fielding questions from voters. One asked about his stance on fighting crime.
My state has one of the best records of fighting crime and law enforcement in the country, and he knows it. We've cut crime by more than any other industrial state in America. We've got the lowest murder rate of any industrial state in America. I've personally led that effort.
In a slicker production, Vice President George Bush made his last appeals.
For more than 40 years, George Bush has met every challenge his country and the world have offered up to him.
He also urged voters to remember the prosperity of the last 8 years.
Because the choice before you is very important. We've made historic strides in these last 8 years. We took a country that had lost its confidence and put her back on her feet.
Emphasizing Ohio's importance, both presidential hopefuls paid Ohio one last visit. Buckeye saw Dukakis before the sun came up. He attended a rally at a UAW hall in Brook Park.
I want to help every American.
George Bush took no chances with his 5 to 10 point lead one day before the election.
President of the United States.
Ohio polls open at 6:30 in the morning and they close at 7:30 tomorrow night. We will have complete election coverage for you starting at 6 o'clock on Channel 3 News.
A 15-year-old student was given a hero's standing ovation tonight at Cleveland's City Council. Mark Stanisha, a freshman at St. Ignatius High School, was shot in the arm when he tried to save 17-year-old Tanya Addison from being beaten. Several males were hitting her while she got off an RTA bus in October. Tonight, Tanya Addison publicly thanked Mark for risking his life for hers. Also tonight, Cleveland City Council President George Forbes said he is not concerned about the criminal charges Councilman Jeff Johnson filed against Forbes today. Councilman Johnson is asking the county prosecutor to charge Mr. Forbes with intimidation and menacing. Mr. Johnson said the most recent evidence is a news tape which played on WUAB. On the tape, Forbes said he would, quote, kick Johnson's ass and put him out of politics. Tonight, Mr. Forbes said the comments were made when he thought the interview was over.
The camera was on, but I didn't know the recorder was on it. And in my 20 years of doing interviews with TV reporters, once you start doing reverse setup, that means that the interview is over. I had no idea this was going to be shown across television. I think it was highly unethical.
Council President George Forbes does not retract what he said, but he claims the threats were political, not physical. Channel 3's commentator Dick Pegler says George Forbes is not a man who is shy around a mic.
Well, Leon, you know, all of us who work around microphones are afraid of being caught saying a nasty word in an unguarded moment. So maybe we ought to have some sympathy for Forbes. But the trouble is, he talks nasty during his guarded moments as well. It isn't like people who hear him on the radio get him mixed up with Mother Teresa. An angry mule skinner may kick more asses in a year than Forbes, but Forbes talks about it more. If he had to wash his mouth out with soap every time he said a bad word, Procter & Gamble would have to open another factory just to keep him supplied. There are probably two reasons he regrets this particular anatomy lecture. First, we have seen a new George Forbes lately. Since Forbes announced he is running for mayor, he has strained himself trying to appear more meek and statesmanlike. This is a riveting sight, a little like watching Mr. Hyde straining to turn into Dr. Jekyll before his date comes back from the ladies' room. But the real reason Forbes must be upset is that he just handed Jeff Johnson a present. Johnson is figured to lose his election against Virgil Browne, a man who nobody speaks about unkindly and few speak about at all. On election eve, nothing helps Johnson's ill-fated cause more out in those white suburbs than another reminder that George Forbes doesn't like him. Now, nothing will come of any of this after the election. If they start arresting Forbes for cussing, he'll be on the clink more often than Otis on the old Andy Griffith show. But if Forbes is upset tonight, it's because one chair he doesn't want to throw at Johnson is the county commissioner's chair.
Thanks, Dick.
Still ahead tonight on Channel 3 News at 11.
The money's going to have to go back, then there's...
The money is
Don't
not
you
going-
ever call me a liar.
That.
Don't you ever call me a liar.
I called you because you did.
We'll tell you what got these people so stirred up.
And Cher's fight for the homeless. Details upcoming.
Because I came from a really poor family. I came from...
The following is a paid political announcement.
The story of Dennis Eckert is the story of the American dream. It's the story of melting pot America, of that rich blend of values and tradition that have made us something special. As the grandson of immigrants, Dennis learned firsthand about strong family ties and hard work, about common sense and caring for the needs of people. All this means a nearly perfect voting record in Congress. It also means coming home almost every week to listen and to learn. Hard work, common sense, and concern for people. Congressman Dennis Eckert, leadership we can count on.
Don't choose a Court of Appeals judge blindly just because his name sounds familiar. Mark your ballot for Marcus, a nationally respected judge with proven experience. Bar associations repeatedly rank Judge Marcus first among all judicial candidates. The Citizens League gave him its highest rating. The Plain Dealers, Sun Papers, and all labor unions endorse Judge Marcus, along with police, teacher, ethnic, and minority groups. Mark your ballot for Marcus.
When Quad Graphics, one of the nation's fastest-growing printers, needed a communication system that could expand quickly, they chose Ameritech, the information company that custom-designed a system for voice, data, and ultimately video, a system that could keep up with Quad Graphics' 50% annual growth. Because when your business grows like that, your communication system must press forward. Ameritech, solutions that work.
Let's stop at Burger King. They got a breakfast special for under $1.
How can it be special if it's under $1?
Just 99 cents for a great tasting bagel sandwich or croissant sandwich done like I do it.
Like you do it.
Eggs and cheese with ham, bacon, or sausage on a bagel or croissant. Just 99 cents.
Good thing you're not doing it, because if you were doing it, you wouldn't do it for under $1, and we wouldn't be here letting them do it. You know what I mean?
I got a pretty good idea.
We do it like you do it when we do it like we do it at Burger King.
An angry outburst at City Hall, a battle today between a city staff director and a council member. Vince Lombardi, director of community development, in a shouting match with Councilwoman Fannie Lewis. Lewis claiming Lombardi is trying to take money away from a homeless center in her ward.
He's lying.
If the money's going to have to go back, then there's...
The money is
Don't
not
you
going-
ever call
I
me a
called
liar.
you that.
Don't you
I
ever
called
call
you
me a
that.
liar.
Lombardi says the center is not functioning and the money should go to other centers that are. Seldom do any of Mayor Voinovic's staff members battle publicly with council members.
Demonstrations over the rights of the homeless. That story leads Dateline. In Washington, a couple of thousand demonstrators rallied near the Capitol in support of more federal aid for the homeless. Among the demonstrators were singer-actress Cher and famed baby doctor Benjamin Spock, who were among the 350 arrested for disorderly conduct. In Cleveland, 24 protesters marched through downtown Cleveland, demanding a meeting on the homeless issue with winners in tomorrow's election. They left their messages at the Cuyahoga County Democratic and Republican Party offices. Only 2 have signed up for free needles in New York, as that city launched the first government-sponsored program to give drug addicts free needles in hopes of cutting the spread of AIDS. The Soviet Union celebrated its 71st anniversary with a military parade. Surprisingly, the Soviets played down their new nuclear arms. Rockets were displayed, but not many of the nuclear variety.
Still ahead, Steve Browne with weather to vote by. Hooley at large says you too can rattle and hum.
And the Cavs, is it too good to be true? Jim Donovan in sports with the answer after this.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Assistant County Prosecutor Patricia Cleary, and I stand by my convictions.
The West Side rapist and the Jamaican drug dealer. Convicted by Patricia Cleary, the Cleveland State killer. Convicted by Patricia Cleary and now on death row.
The selection of judges is far too important to leave to the political power brokers. My opponent is just another political appointee. You didn't have a choice.
Now you have a choice, and the choice is clear. Vote for Patricia Ann Cleary for judge. Your clear choice for justice.
Doctor, lawyer, Indian chief, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, drug pusher, rapist, murderer.
Drugs, alcohol, gangs, these aren't the whole problem, they're the results of neglected home and in the neighborhoods. That's where my juvenile court will intervene to break the cycle of abuse, to be guardian of family values that make kids go right.
Robert A. Ferrari, judge the best for an effective juvenile court.
Judge Alice Roby Resnick is the right choice for the Ohio Supreme Court. Listen to what Ohio's leading newspapers have to say.
Judge Resnick is intellectually more suited to the Supreme Court.
She deserves to join the Supreme Court permanently.
Resnick is the recommended choice.
We strongly recommend the election of Judge Alice Roby Resnick.
Continue her work. Promote Judge Alice Roby Resnick to the Ohio Supreme Court.
I'm Judge Alice Roby Resnick. I want to put my experience to work for you on the Ohio Supreme Court.
In the next 4 years, somebody is going to have to continue the arms limitation talks with Gorbachev. Somebody is going to have to find out if Gorbachev is for real. Somebody is going to have to deal with him and look him in the eye and not blink. This is no time for uncertainty, no time to train somebody in how to meet with the Russians. This is the time for strength and experience. This is the time for somebody who is ready on day one to be a great president.
Judge Krupansky, 25 years in the Ohio Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, Common Pleas Court, and Cleveland Municipal Court. Re-elect Judge Blanche Krupansky, Court of Appeals.
There were some unusual shoppers at the West Side Market this afternoon. Two black bear cubs from the Moscow Circus went to market, shopping for fruits and vegetables with their handlers. Of course, the furry duo also delighted shoppers with a dancing performance, part of their Zalkins act. The Circus opens tomorrow night at Public Hall in downtown Cleveland. I want to tell you.
Yeah, well, tell you, Leon, I don't know if you're going to need an umbrella or not when you go out to vote. What's the prediction?
If you go out in the morning, you need an umbrella. If you go out in the afternoon, you probably won't. You probably need sunglasses. Yeah, we're going to get two kinds of weather, yeah. No excuses for not going to vote tomorrow, though, because we are going to have good weather by tomorrow afternoon. Fast-moving weather here, Jill. I want to show you the clouds. You take a look at those bright white clouds at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We're way out here in Iowa and Illinois, and watch how fast they have been moving toward the east. And at 10 o'clock tonight, we already have some shower-producing clouds starting to move back into Cleveland. They're showing up on radar right now, coming out of Hopkins Airport. And they're small, they're light. We've got one down here just south of Akron. We also have had some showers out here over the western end of Lake Erie. There's one popping up near Findlay here. These showers will be spreading eastward during the night tonight and will dampen us all down by tomorrow morning. Not quite cold enough to snow. It is 41 degrees right now, and the humidity is 79%. We have a southwest wind at 8 miles per hour, and the barometer is rising. High today was 43. 33 was the low this morning. Of course, last night, most of the Cleveland area did get some snow. Officially, since midnight last night, Hopkins Airport had 0.4 of an inch, and totaled that up with what they had yesterday, and it came out to be an inch of snow. All right, at 5 o'clock, here's the showers. They were just coming in on Chicago. Gives you another idea how fast these showers are moving from Chicago all the way into Ohio in just 5 hours. Here's the culprit. It's a trough of low pressure. It's not a cold front. just a trough of low pressure area in the atmosphere that has relatively low pressure. We have cool air out ahead of the trough. We have these clouds being kicked up by the trough itself. But behind the trough, the air is mild Pacific air, coming off the Pacific Ocean. And you'll see this afternoon, while we had temperatures here in the 40s in Ohio this afternoon, behind the trough it was in the 50s and 60s. Significant because the trough will go through Cleveland about midday tomorrow. We'll have the showers in advance of it late tonight and through tomorrow morning. But by tomorrow afternoon, we should break into some of that milder and drier air with the sunshine returning. Very fast jet stream here. It's strung out tight like a rope, and it's like someone's taking waves along the rope, sending them eastward. One will go through tomorrow, the next one coming in Thursday. And here's the forecast for Cleveland. For tonight, we're calling for those showers to be developing, low temperature in the mid-30s. And for tomorrow, showers in the morning to start Election Day 1988, but clearing by afternoon. High temperatures milder up into the 50s with southwest winds shifting to west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And our 5-day forecast shows those showers tomorrow with the sun in the afternoon. Wednesday should be a nice day. Mild Pacific air near 60, lots of sun. Thursday we get rain. Friday will be another colder day. We could have some snow flurries on Friday, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But in the meantime, really no excuses for not getting out to vote tomorrow, so do it.
No, none whatsoever. Thanks, Steve.
Okay.
Kind of raining on the Browns parade, isn't it?
It doesn't look too good right now, Jill. Here's Jim Donovan. He's got the details. Maybe we can get this thing going a little better than it's going now.
Yeah, not going well down in the Astrodome right now. Browns and Oilers in that big Monday night game. And remember, if you lose this one, you're 2 behind the Bengals in the AFC Central Division, and the Browns are losing to Houston in the third quarter. 21-3 Houston is the score in the game. The game turned around right at the end of the first half. Here's a summary, though, of the scoring play so far. Browns jumped out. Matt Barr, 40-yard field goal, made it 3-0. Oilers came back. Second quarter, Alonzo Highsmith from 1 yard out. 7-3 was the score at that point. That's the way it stayed at the end of the half. Third quarter, Warren Moon on a scramble throws an 8-yard touchdown pass to Ernest Givens to make it 14-3. And Mike Rozier has just scored to make it 21-3. Houston in the lead over the Browns. Now, as I said, the game swung around closing seconds of the first half. That's when the Browns were driving down 7-3. They had one timeout left, but Bernie Kosar let the clock wind down, threw a pass into the end zone. Time ran out. They would have had a chip shot of a field goal, but never got it off, and they trailed 7-3. Houston went off the field all charged up, and right now it is 21-3 the score in that game. In the third quarter, Browns trail. Championship fight tonight in Vegas, just underway. Sugar Ray Leonard against Donnie Lalonde, and right now in the early moments of that fight, nothing really doing there. Sugar Ray weighed in today, the heftiest he's ever weighed in for a fight at 165 pounds. Lalonde at 167, but no big story out of Vegas yet. The Cavs are back and right now off to a fast start. 2-0 in the regular season. The home opener Wednesday night at the Coliseum against the LA Clippers. Now, the Cavs go 2-0 on the road, and that's a good sign. They only won 11 games on the road all of last year, but just because you're home, that doesn't mean automatic win either.
The Clippers, they beat Miami down there. They were on the road. We have to come out and play well against them. So it makes a difference being at home, and we want to pick up where we left off last year.
It's going to be nice to put on the white uniforms and come out and play for some friendly folks. And we're excited. I think that the people in Cleveland are excited about what we're going to try to do this year. And so I think we'll have a good crowd, and it'll be a lot of fun playing at home again.
Cavs played very well at the Coliseum last year. The Clippers are off to a 1-1 start. A couple of managers hired in baseball today. First of all, Art Howe was named the new manager of the Houston Astros. He was a player with the Astros, then went to Texas as a coach, and now he's the new manager. And Jim Lefebvre is the new manager of the Seattle Mariners. And we wind it up tonight by going into the world of sports and the fan of the night. Ben Vereen with some body English sings the national anthem and acts it out, too.
The waves of gray, all purple mountains, majesty above, the fruited plain.
All right, just have some word. That's Ben Vereen, incidentally. Leon on the phone right now in the huddle talking with Bernie Kosar. Leon suggested throw to Langhorne. They just did and scored.
They got it to
Langhorne. And it's 21-10 right now. Houston in the lead over the Browns.
Got it to Langhorne, so we're back in the ball game.
Okay, keep calling the plays, all right?
Okay, well, Marty's been listening to me a little bit.
He should listen to you more.
Thanks, Jim.
Well, when a rock and roll band reaches the top, what's left for them?
Hooley at Large says, what else make a concert film U2's Rattle and Hum is next.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Enforce tough drug laws with Northern Ohio's Mattia and George for the Supreme Court. Mattia helped bring back the death penalty, approved by the Cleveland Bar, endorsed by the Plain Dealer and the Beacon Journal. His opponent, a Cincinnati Sweeney, was not. And George, endorsed by the Fraternal Order of Police and the Citizens League. George, from ethnic origins to national judicial leader. George, endorsed as the best candidate by the Beacon Journal and Canton Repository. Vote Mattia and George for the Supreme Court.
For Northeast Ohio, Margaret Mueller.
This has been a hard-fought campaign, but I focused on the issues we care about, and I'm ready to go to work for you. I've got a plan to take on the drug menace, to fight that war from the grassroots up. I won't accept pay raises, and I'll fight hard to make Northeast Ohio a leader again instead of being dead last. But I can't do it without your help. I need your vote to fight for you. Thank you, and God bless you.
Margaret Mueller for Congress. Vote Tuesday, November 8th.
Dick Celeste is after your wallet again. He wants another huge tax increase, but first he needs control of the state Senate. So the Celeste tax hike crowd has given Mary Dunning $173,000 because the last time Celeste wanted a 90% tax increase, every senator of his party voted for it. Every one. And with what they've spent on Dunning, they'll get her vote. Gary Suedonik voted against the last tax increase, and he'll vote against this one too. Re-elect Gary Suedonik. Suedonik will stop the Celeste tax.
I'm Carolyn Friedland. I'm not a politician, not an actress. I'm a candidate for judge because our courts need our attention. Hope will not quicken the pace of justice, and wishes will not bring compassion to victims of crime. After 10 years as an attorney serving on many civic boards, I had a choice, and so do you. We can suffer the frustrations or we can solve them, but we cannot sit idle. I made a choice. I'm a candidate. Make a choice you believe in and vote on it.
It's the only guy I know that can work with both Republicans and Democrats to get the job done for the people.
Re-elect Commissioner Browne.
Tonight, Hooley at Large gives us a look and a listen to the Rattle and Hum. It's the new concert film from the Irish rock band U2. They are a superstar group, aren't they?
Oh boy, yeah. And when you look at the facts and figures behind this band, I knew I should have kept playing those drums. Last year, concert goers around the world paid something like $35 million to see U2. They are certainly one of the most popular and political rock bands of the 80s. They talk about things like poverty and apartheid. And now they've gone Hollywood in Rattle and Hum.
They're making a movie. We're playing a rock and roll concert, all right?
U2's Rattle and Hum is designed to give you a front row seat to the band's 1987 American tour. Certainly one of the rock events of last year. The concert footage is shot in both color and black and white. But it's what happens backstage that turns this documentary into something much more than just an elongated music video.
Real heavy lyrics. You're mighty young to write such heavy lyrics.
There's the meeting and performance with bluesman B.B. King, and the film's highlight when U2 takes its cameras on tour in Harlem. Apparently, filmmakers ran out of gems like this, however, because for the final half hour, U2 never leaves the stage. Which isn't all that bad. The band is playing at its best. But you know this Rattle and Hum could have made a lot more noise. Make no mistakes about it, this is a movie that is definitely made for rock fans, and the first 3/4 of it is as good as a concert film can get. On the Hollywood scale, Rattle and Hum sings with a 3. My advice, though, see it in a theater that has a real good sound system so you don't miss a note. Just a couple of poor Irish kids making some good music, and a good movie, too.
And money.
And money.
Rock and roll.
Picking up a couple of bucks on the side.
Well, that's our report for this election eve. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jill Beach.
We'll meet you back here tomorrow at 6 for complete election coverage. Remember to go out and vote. Polls open tomorrow morning at 6:30. Remain open until 7:30. I'm Leon Bibb, and good night.